one thing. It's time for another edition of your favorite YouTube-centric Big 12 college football show. That's right. It's the one. It's the only. It is the biggest 12 with me, your host, Clint Foster. Wherever you are, thanks so much for making us a part of your Tuesday night. It's looking like a four-horse race in the Big 12 at this point, folks. There they are behind me. Frogs, Clones, Utes, and Raiders. Unfortunately, the Utes over there. But hey, a lot to break down. We got a cram-packed show for you. Two amazing guests, two friends of the show. I'm so excited to talk football with, and I can't wait to do it with you. But I need something from you first. You need to subscribe to the show. This isn't your first day on the internet. There you go. At Big 12 VOCFB, at TCU VOCFB as well. Please subscribe to both of those. And please spread the word about the biggest 12. We are trying to get this channel to 1,000 subscribers so that I can actually get some support from making this show, if you catch my drift. All right, so let's make that happen. Put in a lot of effort for y'all, for this. So come on, help me get to 1,000 subscribers. That's all I ask that you do, okay? And while you're at it, please download the Biggest 12 wherever you get your podcasts. That's Apple, Spotify, Amazon, you name it, we're there. And follow me on social media as well. There's my Twitter at Clint_Foster55, X, right, to those of you who are so inclined. And my personal YouTube channel at Clint Foster Creations. Yes, I know I have not gotten a video out since the season started. You have no idea how much it is weighing on my very soul. But life has been busy, man. Teaching is going full steam ahead. I'm offensive coordinator for middle school football right now, doing this, trying to be a good husband. There's a lot going on, okay? So I swear to you, I have a script written. I feel pretty good about it. I just got to put it on tape and edit it, okay? And it's a process. It takes time. So bear with your boy, all right? Bear with me. Also, we have a new two more things to tell you about. First of all, the Voice of College Football store on the Voice of College Football website. So, if you're not already following Voice of College Football on social media, I want my friends in here. I'm tired of sitting here looking at this camera by myself. So let's bring them in, why don't we? First of all, friend of the show here to talk about some backyard brawl. We got Mountaineer Paul in the building, and here he is. He's a new father, ladies and gentlemen. The one, the only, Brownie is back with us as always. Gentlemen, how's y'all's Tuesday going?
Good, man. I'm probably getting a lot more sleep than Brownie is.
What's sleep?
Never heard of her.
What that is. Never heard of her.
Right.
I can just picture you getting off work as a teacher, coaching middle school football. I just want to picture you with the thing up over your face, calling plays.
So I did have a play sheet actually that I was carrying around, but recently I was like, this is so irritating because I signal in all the plays, so I actually just made an armband this week. So I'm looking at the swatch, and then signaling them in. But it's quite the experience going from, because I teach mostly freshmen and seniors, and then you got to majorly shift gears for 7th and 8th grade football. And then you come home and do over what you got going on at home. And I'm very behind on grading right now. So if any of my students you're going to get a grade on your public letter very soon. Okay, government students, we're working on it. Okay, just I'm a little bit behind, but we do the best we can. Isn't that right, folks?
That's right.
Sounds like you need more coffee.
I
got some recommendations.
I might. Doing the best I can. Trying to mold the future. Okay, so we got a lot to talk about. Gentlemen, I think we're gonna get into our awards. We're gonna get into Panic and Hammock and all this stuff. But if you have one big takeaway from this past week of college football, what would you say it was?
We were this close from not having to deal with El Assico, and then it reared its ugly freaking head.
El Assico's gonna El Assico.
If Dominic Overby actually knew how to catch a football, we would have been up by 14 points on Iowa. And say what you want about Iowa, but their offense is so dookie, there's no way that they can make up that difference. Mm-hmm. You can get 3 football games and they're not going to make it.
80-something passing yards for the Squawk Eyes. That's Big Ten football, I guess, right? What else can you say about it?
I pulled up the stat, but Mark Gronowski now has the fewest total passing yards by a FCS football player or an FBS football player in the first 2 games of the season with a minimum requirement of 35 passes. and he beat it by 50 yards. The record was 177, and he only threw 123.
It's absurd. Just
Yeah,
absurd.
63%, 123 total yards. That's 3.3 yards average on a pass. Deacon Hill, who weighed double his weight, threw for better in a Hawkeye uniform.
Yeah, I see you in the chat, right, guy. Yeah, I fear what the Ducks will do.
I would say,
I hope you retire Kirk Ferentz. That's what I hope for.
Go ahead, Paul.
I would say South Florida is something that's jumped out
Yeah.
for me this week in college football week too. You know, beating a pretty good Florida team, although Billy Napier is SH blank the bed more than a few times now. Kind of starting to remind me of Neil Brown a little bit, which is very similar. They come from similar backgrounds, but you know, UCF is a really good football team. Byron Brown, probably the best dual threat quarterback in the country that you haven't heard about yet. I mean, the kid is an absolute monster, and is absolutely driving this team. And the other takeaway I had is they have one of their best players, and his last name is Nimrod. Yeah, so I like that too.
Like that. Yeah.
So my dad used to call me, "Get in here, Nimrod." Hey, pal. Hey, pal, get in here and cut them weeds, boy.
Well, my big takeaways really are kind of tied to our Panic and Hammock and some of our new segments that we're going to put in. So I'm going to just move straight on into that. So Panic or Hammock, for those of you who didn't catch it last week, this is a new thing we're doing on the show. We're looking at teams that are in precarious positions. Is it time to slam the panic button? Or, hey, we're good. Relax. Lay back in the hammock. It's okay. And my first team, because you're here with us, Paul, those West Virginia Mountaineers. I said on the show last week, y'all, I was worried about that Ohio game. Timothy Chalamet tried to warn us. All right, West Virginia losing on the road to the Ohio Bobcats, sitting at 1-1 here in Rich Rod's first year back. Is it time to panic in Morgantown, or are we in the hammock? It's okay.
I mean, does it have to be one or the other? I think we're in between, you know, like
you're very stressed inside a hammock. You're like trying to get comfortable, fighting that thing.
It's like a cartoon where they're in the hammock, but it's spinning.
Yeah. You ever spill like a bag of chips in the bed and lay in it? It's like I can't get it on, and as you try to brush it off, sound like that. No, but I think this week will tell the tale. You know, if we get absolutely destroyed, if Pitt looks like Oregon against Oklahoma State, then yeah. Because here's the thing. I know for a fact, because I have sources there, that we've spent close to the cap, right? We spent as much as most other P4 teams in our, whatever you want to call it, range. Obviously, there are extenuating circumstances outside of that, where like a Texas Tech or whatever, BYU, but generally, most of us spent between 14 and 17 or 18. And if you can't compete with teams that are in your range, that's a problem. But, you know, I think in year one, there are levels to it. There's nuance to it. So Pitt obviously has had this continuity for years. But when you lose to a team like Ohio, who has lesser resources, it pushes you closer towards that panic button than otherwise. Even though they're coming off an 11-win season, you should still have more talent. And to have 3 turnovers in that game by them, and to only get 9 yards out of those 3 turnovers is almost unheard of. You should win that game 100 times out of 100 when you win 3 turnovers to 0 against a MAC team. And we didn't do that. And it comes down to the offensive line. So it needs fixed. It's got to be fixed, or else this season will plunge into the abyss, as our defense is playing really well with Zach Alley, the $2 million man that we brought over from Oklahoma, paying off quite a bit for us so far.
What do you think, Brownie? Panic or hammock?
I think that, I mean, it's almost the exact same situation as K-State was last year. I think that their hand is on the button, but I don't necessarily think that they're going to be slamming that button quite yet. Hopefully they can get something turned around for Backyard Brawl. I think last point spread that I saw was 7.5 point favors towards Pitt. Obviously, that means that it's a slight favor, but I never underestimate West Virginia. especially when it's at home at Pusker. Like you can't count them out in almost any game. And I feel like just like how KU was last year, where they were the ones that kind of threw the wrench into the Big 12 championship game. I feel like West Virginia could be that team this year where they're just going to be overlooked and then sneak up on teams.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm West Virginia, I'm not panicking, right? It's first year back with Rich Rod. You feel pretty strongly about being competitive, but it's a rebuild, right? You know you're in the middle of a rebuild. It's year, but
81 new players.
Yeah, 81 new players, right?
It's a lot.
I mean, there's a lot that if you're a West Virginia fan, you got to be thinking about it, that's just going to be gravy this year if good things happen, right? And for me, this Ohio game, it's like, it's like the worst thing your parents used to say to you. Say, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Like it's like I'm just a little disappointed, right? I mean, you could have had game day for the backyard brawl.
That's
right?
the worst part.
Yeah, and now you trip all over yourself against Ohio, and you're.
How much money and exposure do you think we lost with that? I mean, it's worth millions, right?
Oh, a lot.
Yeah.
So much. I mean, just being able to get it nationally, like pull in younger kids that might not know about like West Virginia as a whole. Like, I mean, me growing up, I remember when West Virginia, when you guys had like that coal mine game right after that coal mine collapse. Like that was the
Stego
first
mine
time
tragedy.
like that was one of the first times that I remember West Virginia being on national TV outside of like a few here and there spaces. And like everybody and their mother was all of a sudden a West Virginia fan. So, I mean, that's huge.
Yeah. I see you in the chat there, Timothy. Yeah, we're wishing the Mountaineers best the whole way out until they play our team for sure. Moving on to Panic or Hammock 4. Somebody mentioned this in the chat. Arizona State, right? Oh my goodness. Losing in Stark Vegas. The sophomore slump has begun for Sam Levitt. Apparently Cam Scadaboo, I don't know, might have had more to do with that team's success last year than maybe we thought. Are you slamming the panic button if you're Arizona State after that Mississippi State loss? Or, I mean, the Big 12 schedule is still ahead of you. You think they're still a contender?
I think they're fine. Did losing to Mississippi State suck? Yeah. Did Sam Levitt not look good? Yeah. Is it fixable? Probably. The one thing that I do find interesting is Kenny Dillingham does not hold back at all in interviews. So this entire thing, oh yeah, the dude is literally what you would want in a head coach, where he just says the quiet stuff out loud. Because he did just that. I mean, after the game, they were like, well, what are you looking for now? Like the 12-0 season is out. And he's like, you don't know anything about college football until you start playing the games. He's like, I could have gone 12-0. This team could have gone 0-12. I don't know until we start playing. He's like, so should people think that we're going to be 11-1? He's like, no, for all you know, we might be like 3-9.
Yeah.
I was like, man, dude, same.
Yeah, I'm not panicking for them either. I think they're fine. I think once they get in the Big 12 play, they'll probably win a bunch of games. They'll be in contention. They're at least an 8 or 9 win team, that feels like that. I think most people were probably just underrating the difficulty of going to Starkville. And the funniest thing about this game was obviously the viral clip came out of Arizona State preparing for Starkville. They had people that had 2 cowbells in each hand. And Starkville said, you know what? We got something for you. Yeah. We'll put 4 cowbells in each hand. Yeah. Hugh Bruce Dickinson, I got a prescription, or I got a fever. No, only prescription is more cowbell.
Gotta have more cowbell. Yeah, for sure. And I think people forget Arizona State, even last year, they were a very different team on the road than they wwere at home, right? Yeah. And going to a hostile environment like Starkville with all the cowbells and everything. I mean, I don't care how bad Mississippi State is. That's a tough place to win. It's the same reason that I'm still not looking forward to TCU going to Morgantown. There's some places you just don't play well. Right? Hard places to win. And TCU's always struggled with Morgantown and Stillwater, right?
I mean, it was in that U documentary too, like the actual documentary, The U, when they were preparing for Florida State, where they had the huge loudspeakers on the practice fields just playing the ba 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 da da da, like 24/7. And I just remember Ed Reed, even like after he was in the league, he's like, somebody was like, "What did you absolutely hate the most in college?" And he's like, for an entire week before the FSU game, all you heard was blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Blake
At
Shapen.
TCU practices, we used to play noise and music too. But of course, like most of the games, it was Coach P's playlist for like my first 3 years there. And so, like, when I tell you that I know the entire 4-part harmony for Raise a Little Hell, I have heard that song so many freaking times in my college years. Like, good grief. All right, last panic or hammock. This is gonna be a fun one, baby, for you, Brownie. Kansas State. Oh, dog. Don't sit here and tell them North Dakota isn't good. All right. They earned that win, but hey, are we
question.
panicking for Kansas State?
Have you guys seen the lizard meme that's been going around lately?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're lizarding. They're lizard. Yeah, that's them. They're smacking that so much right now. It was not a good game.
The lizard.
Yeah. It dude, that was rough.
They got freaking hit with an orbital nuke from Army, who just lost to Tarleton State. Like, my lord.
Well,
it's not a good place to be.
Do you see the funniest stats? Their leading passer was their wide receiver, and their leading rusher was their quarterback.
Never beating the allegations.
Never beating the allegations, man. Avery Johnson, they should just make him run more. They might be able to win.
Just Wildcat all the time. What do you think, Paul?
Yeah, I think it's definitely panicky. I think that Kansas State has been by far the biggest disappointment in the league so far. I had them in the championship game preseason. I really thought Avery Johnson was going to have a Heisman type year. I just did. I liked the kid. I thought he had some moxie. Definitely has great wheels. But you look at some of the numbers in some of the games. I mean, they've been pretty bad. And they've just looked really inept, which is weird. And I think they're probably getting it's almost to the point to where Kleiman's messaging, it sounds like the fan base is getting a little bit tired of his excuses post game. Like, I've seen so many different things about he's one of those guys, he takes full responsibility, but it's like once you hear that so many times, it can weigh, and I think they are kind of tired of not being they won another Big 12 championship. I think they were expecting that. And, one of the things we talk about in recovery is expectations lead to resentments, right? So when I place an expectation on something and it doesn't happen, and then I have a resentment as a result. And for a fan base, the only place to direct that is at the coach or players.
Yeah,